Let's
Bro,
start, pare.
let's get it on.
Fish Bob.
Come on, man. Yo, what's up, guys? Jairus here, and welcome to another episode of Jairus Inspires Podcast. And this is a very exciting episode because I'm with the man, the legend, the myth. You know, one of the most influential Filipino photographer, one of the OG Filipino photographer in Dubai. You know, when I was starting, he's one of the photographer that I look up to. Yeah, bro, remember that moment? 2 decades ago. 2 decades ago.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I would never forget when you called me. I was
Exactly.
like, Merka, what the heck, man? The first thing that you mentioned me, you still have the
Yeah.
same number.
Yeah, exactly.
And what does
when I
it
called
tell,
you,
right?
the same exact number, bro.
What does it tell?
No, we're old. See, guys, we've been following for so long. Since I don't know, man, since Multiply Days, right? Multiply Days, Facebook, early days of Facebook, even Friendster. I think I can remember. But anyway, we're one of the OG. We're one of the OGs Filipino photographers in Dubai. But Chris was I think ahead of me like a couple of years. So when I was starting, he is one of the people that guided me.
Yeah,
Remember, I was calling you when I was in the office. So I was asking him advices about clients, about works. So thank you so much, man. And here we are.
No problem,
almost 2 decades after.
Beautiful,
My
beautiful.
podcast. So thank you so much, guys.
I love congratulations.
Chris Calumberan, guys. There we go.
Thank
Woo!
you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me, man.
Exactly, bro.
It's amazing. This is a dream.
Like I said
it's
earlier.
like so. How would you say that? I still couldn't believe I'm with you sitting down now.
Right.
You're the man. You
Yeah,
have
exactly.
beautiful following.
Exactly, bro.
Amazing.
Man, it's been a
amazing.
while. I remember when I was I was working with my previous company like a long time ago. I was asking you for advices for cameras, for dealing with clients, So you gave so much advices to me when on my early days. So yeah, I mean I'm it's like a full circle moment for me. Like
Thank you.
having face to face with one of the OGs of
Beautiful.
Bro,
It's my
can you just
pleasure,
tell them?
brother.
Oh, you know what? Introduce yourself, bro.
Yeah.
To all the viewers. I'll give you the floor. Go for it, bro.
Yes, this is Chris Calumberan. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, internationals. Yes.
Exactly.
So I'm a commercial photographer. I've been based here in Dubai since God knows when. I always say
Man.
2 decades, more than 2
More than 2
decades.
decades.
My parents were here. They brought me here, and yeah, it's a beautiful journey. It's it's kind of like enjoy the journey instead of like looking at the destination kind of scenario. And we've been through ups and downs, all these crises, pandemic, financial crisis. We all survived that somehow,
Exactly,
thank
bro.
God. And yeah, still now we're still continue learning and
Improving.
Improvement is constant.
Bro, can you just give them a quick background of your photography?
Yeah,
how you started, what
So it's
you do?
commercial photography. I'm basically I started as a web designer, so I'm a visual artist, and a part of visual artistry is images. I wasn't really good in graphic designing, so you have to simplify it by photography. But then again, it's not like that kind of photography. I joined a web designing company back in Sharjah, and one of our client is a modeling agency. So this modeling agency required constant inputs of database for the database. So the database basically, you have a small scanner next to you, and you'll have a parcel of like 50 models every week. And most of my colleagues are from East Asia. They're like Indian bachelor Indian young men, which I love. I love them to death. I learned a lot from them. They always gather behind me, and then we were looking at stunning images of models, and and it's kind of like if you remember back in the days, when you find a magazine in Saudi, there's like an erase of it felt like that somehow, but we scan it and then we upload it on the database, and that's it. I got absorbed from that company.
Yes.
And it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. Cut the story short. The company Photo Techniques, shout out to Margo Farmas, the late Farmas Beheshti. Soraya and Persia, they're working with them right now, until now, yeah. And it's overwhelming because I was baptized or introduced to photography in not the usual way of, here's your camera, cover an event. It's not like that.
Yeah.
So I was introduced in photography with commercial photography itself.
More creative.
3,000 square foot of studio.
Wow.
So we shoot all the products from Carrefour to,
Yes.
because there's only few studios back then.
Yeah.
And I learned how to shoot cars, how to light cars, how to light products. And we've been using this Mamiya RB medium format. I was the one who's doing the loading of the film. And then suddenly, Chris, you should be a photographer. Those were the times where I denied myself calling myself as a photographer. You deny yourself because there's a lot of levels to be in photography.
Yeah, true.
And the overwhelming part was the photographer is the head. He's the leader. He's the chef in the kitchen. The only chef in the kitchen.
True.
Nobody else is just, you have the stylist, you have the models, you have the client, you have everybody surrounding you and asking, when are you going to click the button? How do you call the shots? Which is so beautiful. So it came to me like it's romanticizing for a couple of years, like watching how the master, do. And it's I really give like big shout out to Mr. Farmas Beheshti. He's such a big influence in my part. He was like some sort of a father figure to me also. Somehow, unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years back. He was doing a film back in Iran, and I received the bad news about it, and everybody was shocked. And now I'm still working with her daughters, her two daughters, Soraya and Persia. Shout out to you guys. And
man. I see. I remember when I was starting, you're already doing this creative photography, bro. Like you're shooting cars, you're shooting models, commercials, and I again, as I've said, you're one of the photographers that I look up to. You inspired me in so many ways. And that's why I'm happy that you're here.
Thank you very much.
And what I like about you is you never stop teaching.
Yes.
Like you never stop inspiring photographers.
Yes.
Like those moments that you're just by simply answering my call, like talking for hours and hours. Remember that?
Yes.
Hours and hours on phone, and you don't mind, spending time teaching someone, inspiring someone, and then I remember you were doing live podcasts like about just sharing photography tips. You've been doing podcasting before even podcasting.
Before even podcasting started. Oh my God.
Exactly. That's how OG Chris is. And then and then he just became a legend.
Thank you. I never thought of that, but thank you. I'll take that.
And that's also when I was conceptualizing this subject, which is client. I don't know. Yeah. So the subject is client red flags.
Client-led flags. I almost forget about that. Oh dear.
We've been talking so much. We forgot the topic.
Yes.
But when I was conceptualizing this episode, I was like, I need someone with a lot of years under his belt. Like I don't want to be with someone like with 5 years, not even 10 years. I want someone with at least 2 decades. And I was like, I only know one man, like Chris Calumberan, and I believe we're going to share a lot of red flags that a lot of beginners could somehow avoid. Because see, there's so many new photographers. The thing is, they don't know who to work with or what kind of clients to work with, So I think it's a very interesting topic. That
it's boiling inside of me right now.
I remember when I proposed this topic, you were like, "Oh boy, we could talk for hours." For hours.
I don't know where to begin, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, right. I have some lists, so we can start whenever you want, bro. Are you ready?
Amazing, man.
Okay,
of course.
ready.
I'm born ready.
Let's go. That's what I like about you. You're always ready. And so who's going to start? Me or you? I have a list. Okay, I can go.
I don't have my own list, but it's on my head. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Bro, you've been experiencing it for 2 decades, bro. For sure, man. For sure. We eat this every day, man.
We eat rejection.
Exactly, you know.
And red flag clients for breakfast.
Bro, and see, this is the thing that I think there's not a single month that we face this kind of clients. Not even a single week, maybe. You know, we always get these inquiries from these clients. And the thing is, when you're a beginner, you tend to accept everyone, right? Which is fine. Like, you know, it's something. But once you get professional, you have to really choose.
You discern and you filter.
Yeah, you filter the bad clients and just work.
Sometimes I even ask the client, "Where did you get my number?"
Yeah, true.
How did you get my number? Because the difference between a full-time, a freelancer, which is somewhat we belong to, and a job is kind of like the job accept all the walk-ins.
True. Yes, exactly.
We discern is kind of like that's fishy. That's dodgy.
Yeah, exactly.
Where did you get my number? And, it's kind of like really. I really wonder. Do I really need to work with this person? That's what the freedom of freelancing. Yeah.
Exactly. And then that's exactly the reason why we decided to be a freelancer, right? To avoid those kind of scenarios.
Yeah, freedom.
Okay, let's get for my first one. I was writing different stuff. So my first one is okay. There are these clients that always looks for the cheapest. They always want to work with the cheapest, right? It's like, here's the thing. You can find cheaper photographers all the time. Like there's always someone cheaper than you, right?
Of course.
Yeah, and the thing is you don't want to work with those kind of clients. Because the thing is, whenever they find the cheaper client, they will just move into whoever's cheaper, which is again, it's a red flag. We don't want to work with those
correct
kind of clients.
One of my shout out to Mr. Shane Martin. You're just such a wonderful person. One of my mentors. He's the founder of Boomtown Production, and whenever he says you only get to choose 3 things, 3 factors: if it's cheap, if it's good, and if it's fast.
Yes.
Right? So if it's good and fast, definitely it won't be cheap.
True.
If it's cheap and fast, definitely it won't be good. You know how it works.
Exactly. And these kind of clients wants everything, right?
Yeah, they want everything. It's kind of like in my case, even if it's a cheap project, you have to basically study what's in it for me. So whenever I say yes to a client, whether if it's a free job or it's a paid job or if it's a cheap job, if I say yes, the best return of investment or the best profit you'll get from there is doing a good job on it. Whenever you say yes, because it's your name, it's your reputation that is in the line. So even if it's a bad project, or I wouldn't say bad, even if it's a cheap project, and then this client that you found that is looking for a cheap thing, and you said yes about it, and you look at it, is it worth my time? Most of the time, whenever I say yes to something like that, it must be worth my time. So you will do everything in your powers to make the thing worthwhile doing.
Yeah.
To make the most out of it. This is one of my thing. Always make the most out of it. Produce a behind the scene.
Yes.
Make the shot like. See, here's what I find funny about work ethics when photographers, in photographers, where they always say, it's such a low budget, I'll just do this. No.
But you said yes. That's the thing.
I said yes, and this is my opportunity, because you're coming from a frame.
Yes.
You're coming from a frame where you have the total control. You have the total control. If you make it or break it, and in the end of the day, it's gonna be your name.
Your name. Yes,
right?
Your brand.
So making the most out of a cheap production or a cheap budget job is having the control of the creative process that is involved. You never know, because this client that you may have, obviously you do your research, man, do your assignment. If this client is a budding talent, and definitely you will have a longer relationship together. Definitely, it's kind of like clients who are looking for cheap can be a gateway to a better shoot next time, because working on the experience of shooting it, undergoing with the creative process, it's like an exercise for you. It's like an exercise for us. It's exercise for me. And then suddenly you will, in the end of the day, once the job is completed, it's a portfolio. It's something that you can, post.
Yeah,
At the end of the
exactly.
day, it's another content.
Yeah.
Right?
So see, if you know the project is cheap, but once you accepted it, you accepted it. It's under your name.
Once you say yes.
When you say yes, that's
you
part of
cannot-
being professional.
Yeah,
I
don't
hate those
break that.
photographers that they just tend to what you call this
have a diva.
yeah, it's like they don't treat this cheap clients the same way as how they normally treat their clients. But the thing
Exactly.
is, you accepted the job, right? So if you don't like the budget or whatever,
Say no.
Say no, right? Say no. But once you accepted it,
Oh,
yeah, and
give
when
it to someone else also.
exactly,
Give it
see,
to someone
also
else
when once you accepted it, as you said, try to make the most out of it.
Yeah.
Like try to create something, for example, like BTS, or try to make the best out of it to be a part of your portfolio.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's also a content for you.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
content for you.
Exactly. So, and if there's cheap clients, if you don't like the budget, say no.
Say no.
If you accept something, make sure you're happy. I mean, that's
Would you be able to, like, for example, if you come across that similar prerogative, right? Would you refer your friend doing it?
It depends. See, here's the thing. I have photographer friends that I support.
Yes.
They're starting. They're starting. So for me, whatever project that I don't want to do, so it could be budget-wise or the client, I don't like the client, I usually pass it to those friends because
So
it's part of me
How
helping
would
them.
how would you define referrals? How would you define a referral for you?
How would you define? What do you mean by that?
For me, okay, let me answer my own question in a
Exactly.
way. Referrals. I put a big respect on referral. The word referral for me is really sacred.
Yes, yes.
If you got referred by someone who is your close buddy,
Yeah.
or which is your close client, what would you do with that referral?
Oh, of course, you have to respect first of all, and you have
Do
to
your
also
best,
yeah,
right?
do your best. Especially if someone that have established their name pass you
Yeah, man.
the client or the project, man. You have
Because
to do
this
your
is
best.
how we live, right?
Yeah.
Referrals,
exactly.
word of mouth kind of thing.
Yeah.
So let me I became the interviewer. let me reverse the process,
Yeah.
right? If you got a bad job that
Yeah.
you think that's gonna be flop, that you think this is not, would you refer that to your friend?
If I know the client is
Reputation-wise.
very bad reputation-wise,
Client, pay me.
I wouldn't even budge to pass it to anyone.
Right?
You know.
This is the freedom of freelancing.
Exactly. And as far as I'm confident that my guy that I'm going to pass the job to could handle this kind of
Yeah.
jobs. If I know that he can handle, you know,
Compatibility.
I will not even pass the project. So for me,
Correct.
if the client is a huge red flag, I would rather not.
I'd rather not even touch, or even if you see the number, man.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, bro. Okay, so again, that's my take.
That's
you know,
one.
that's one. You know, if they always look for the cheapest, you know, usually stay
So
away.
it's kind of like it's cheap,
Yeah,
it's fast, and it's good.
and you cannot have
You can't have the all three.
You know? And here's the thing: you don't want to get hired as a photographer because you're cheap, right? You want to
Yes.
get hired because of your skills,
Yes.
because of your brand, or maybe because of the client is looking for professional relationship.
Correct.
Like I have clients that I
ethics,
work for decades, for more than 10 years.
I can feel
but
you,
I'm
man.
still working with them because
Yeah.
not because I'm cheap, but we built this professional relationship,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
You
that's
have
what
that
you always,
camaraderie between you
that's
guys.
what you should always
Yeah.
look for. Because if a client is always looking for cheaper photographer, guess what? They will always jump to cheaper photographer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So Chris, come on. I'll
My
give you one.
turn.
Yes, your turn,
Oh.
bro. Your turn. Come on. Come on. You said you you have a lot, man. Come on. Go for it.
Fell everything else.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. If you're the second choice,
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I didn't expect this. If you're the second choice, okay.
If you're the second
Oh my
choice,
God,
and
man.
it's so obvious that you were the second choice, is that a red flag for you?
Like at the last minute.
Last
Like for example,
minute.
the photographer. Oh man. I mean, for me, it depends. I mean, a job is a job.
It's
Money
a
is money.
job, yeah,
You know. If the what happened was acceptable, like, for example, the main photographer got sick or whatever, or God knows what happened. I don't mind, to be honest. I don't think it's a completely red flag, unless if the first photographer rejected that client because the client.
What's the story behind it?
What's the story behind it? Yes, you should at least know somehow what's the story behind it.
It's kind of like when you're buying something. Why are you selling this? Reason to sell.
Exactly. What's the reason to sell? Bitch, I'm selling it because I want to sell it, you know? Yeah.
But emotions aside, in the end of the day, it's just still a job, right?
Yeah, it's still a job.
But then again, you go back to the discerning part. Is the budget right? Is the the situation in every, are you going to feed us? Is there food involved?
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. So your turn.
Yeah. So okay, I wanna relate this to that. Okay, so what was that? I was okay. So let's go back to referrals and things.
Right.
So if one of your friends referred you a project and you did the project, okay, and that client likes you and ask you to do more project for them, would you accept it or not? Again, this friend that passed you the project, man, you're that close friend.
I'm just not available right now.
Yeah. So what would you do? Because let's say it's a good project, you know. So, but again, you would potentially ruin the friendship or the relationship with that person.
It happened to me a lot of times.
Yes,
well,
it happens
not
to
a lot
us.
of times. It's kind of like it's not uncommon. It will not be uncommon.
Yes, true. Tough, right?
It goes back to the professional ethics. The ethicality and the, is that even a word, ethicality?
Yeah.
It's the job. It's the work ethic that
True.
professionalism involves. In the end of the day, it's just a business, right? So if it happened to me, I will speak with the person who referred to me, and I will ask for his blessing. It's kind of like the same thing that happens when you're trying to pitch a client your job or your name. Do you have a photographer already? Yes. Are you happy with this photographer? Are you looking for a photographer? But if they mention someone who I know, or if they know already, if they have already, then it's it's hands off.
Yes.
It's basically I will build up that person. Jairus. He's a great photographer. You should stay with him.
Yes.
But I'm happy that you have answered the question, and I'm glad that you're working with Jairus.
Yeah.
This is one of those. No one, I hope that people practice that kind of manner, right?
Yeah, right. See, again, that's what I always say to my friends, my fellow photographers. If you will ever be in this position to choose between relationship and money, always go for relationship.
We always go for it. It's not
Because
always
money is just maybe that could be just one thing, but relationship would last forever. Like us,
Yeah,
like we
man.
know each other for almost 2 decades.
Two
So
decades.
relationship, man.
Relationship.
Whenever I pass some projects to my friends, which is good thing because whenever they ask by this client to work with them for more projects, they always come back to me and ask me, hey, ask for my permission. But the thing, if there's a client that I valued a lot, of course I will not. But the thing is, if that client really valued you so much, why would they
ask someone
in the first place?
It's kind of like going behind your back.
Exactly. So that's a red flag for them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. So
especially if you're working with an agency, if you're working on an agency and you are basically representing an agency that hired you.
Yeah.
Good for them that they like you and they gave you a job, right? Would you give away business cards, right?
Oh yeah, that's okay. That's
Never
one of
give
the
business cards away.
That's one of the most annoying. See, when you're okay, let's go to the second photographer. Like when you hire some assistant or second photographer.
dear.
Man, I hate when you hire a second shooter and they started handing business cards or they started mingling to your clients, or worse.
Yes.
put up their own shirt with their branding on. Man, oh my God, man.
In the end of the day, brother, it goes back to us.
Yes,
as a hirer, as a main photographer, and as a person who, chose this person, we should give them the brief. We always, it's kind of like I know it's an unwritten gentleman's thing, but it's really clear to say that, okay, this is my job. You're a second photographer. Always give the brief.
Yeah.
We appreciate clients who give the brief, and why don't we give the brief to our photographers also?
Especially when you're dealing with younger individuals, because they
inexperienced,
so sometimes it's an honest mistake. But if you hire someone that is already like a professional and they started doing it,
it's a bad look. It's a bad look.
It's a bad look. That happened to me like a year ago. I hired someone, and then that photographer started mingling with my clients and started handing business cards. Man, good thing my clients didn't they know that this guy's a professional, so they never let them, But yeah, I mean that's.
I wanted to say it, but I'm.
Well, we can cut, bro. We can cut. Come on.
Never hire someone who is better looking than you. Sorry, guys.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
Because all the attention, it's kind of it works both ways.
Yeah.
I hired people who are more charming and more prettier than me in a way somehow, because I want them to be there. I need them to be there because they are useful in a way. But sometimes it goes overboard that it gets distracted. The job gets distracted because it's too shiny.
Okay, exactly. Okay, how about this? How about hiring someone that is better than you? How about that?
How would you say that?
Yeah. For example,
If he's better than me, then definitely he would know how the relationship how to act professionally.
Yeah,
if
of
he's
course,
better than me, right?
Yeah. Wait, here's the thing, bro. I wanna because here's the thing: skills and experience or professionalism.
I would love them to be in my team because it happens.
Yeah.
It really happens. I would hire someone better than me when it comes to
skill-wise.
Skill-wise, when it comes to events, because
you're
lack,
you're weak.
You're weak in that part, and they have a better equipment. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Most of my suppliers have better equipment than me. I hire them because of that. Because you go back to the objectivity. What is the objective? Objective is to submit the images,
Exactly.
a beautiful image in the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you're not the one who did it, your teammate did it. You have to be proud because they're part of your team.
And since you lead them, it also reflects to you.
Of course.
Okay. Here's the thing, because we consider ourselves old photographers. Like we've been in the industry for so many years. Seriously, this is something that I noticed recently, because recently I always tend to hire younger photographers, younger crew. Yeah, right. What can you say about that? Because we're getting older. We cannot do the same kind of movements we did back in the days. So for me, it's smart when you grow older to hire younger crew, right? So is this something that you do as well?
Yes, because that's the normal trajectory of your career anyways, right?
Exactly.
Because you basically have, okay, so you're the guy, and then of course you should have like a career trajectory, I call it,
Sure.
So it's not, you see, as an artist with the name, with the brand, it's so difficult to move away from it, to take that away from you.
You've been doing this for so long, you're so passionate with it.
Clients always like, I prefer you doing it.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, it's business, right?
Yeah.
How will you be able to scale?
I got it.
That's the big question, scaling up, right?
You cannot scale if you're doing everything by yourself.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? And there's just something that you might find this funny, because whenever people ask me, what would be my goal for the next 10, 20 years? So my funny take on that is, my goal in life right now, I don't want to be a 60-year-old camera crew holding a gimbal in an event.
Yeah,
That's a no-no for me. That's why right now I'm trying to build my brand. I'm trying to, establish my name, my company, my brand. So in the next 10, 20 years, I will not be hiring because of my skills. I'll be hiring because of my name.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. I mean,
that's
that
right.
explains it. You're in the front of the camera right now.
Exactly. That's one of the benefits of having this podcast, because I believe that this podcast managed to elevate my brand exponentially.
Yes.
Right? And this is the goal for me in the next 10 to 20 years. I don't wanna go to an
I
event
love it, man.
holding a gimbal, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
That's a
I
no-no
love
for
it.
me.
I
You know?
love it.
I want to be somewhat like a leader, like the boss,
Correct.
handling
That's
proof,
that's one of the good thing. That's one of the reasons why I seek to join a prestigious photography studio.
Yeah.
Because I got bored. I wasn't shooting anymore. I have my staff doing it.
Exactly.
And it kind of like, it came into like after a birthday, and then suddenly I'm there. And it's like some sort of a calling.
Yeah, sure.
One of the reasons why I said yes is kind of like, okay, I'm going to pass whatever I know to you guys.
True, man. True.
But in the end of the day, it's very difficult to sail in two rivers. Two boats in one. Yeah, two rivers.
Exactly. Okay,
You have
let's
to
go to
choose.
my next
Go
red
back-
flag.
go back
Let's
to
go
that.
back to the next red flag. Okay, I got a few more. Okay, how about this? A client or potential client asking you a quotation without a proper brief. Right? Like they just want the price.
Right.
Without
That's
trying.
a red flag.
That's a
Definitely
red flag.
a red flag. You see, you again, you have in my end, it's kind of like you have to discern what the question is, right?
Sure.
What do I really want? Because in the end of the day, it's kind of like, okay, I can give you my because we need to have a day rate.
Yeah, sure.
And then on that day rate, it's really convenient for you and convenient for the client. So you basically give the day rate and the breakdown of that day rate.
But also your day rate depends on what kind of project you're going to do, right?
Yes.
I mean, like for example, like shooting a commercial, like car commercial, is different from shooting a birthday party, right?
Correct. That's why the day rate needs to have divisions, needs to have
Exactly.
definitions of, okay, if it's an event, it's like this. If it's a commercial, it's like this. If you need editing, it's like this.
Yeah, true.
It always goes back to a phone call from a fellow photographer. How do you price it?
Got
You
it.
need to have your day rates because it's not only convenient for your client, it's also convenient for you. But yeah, going back to red flags, you cannot help but it's kind of like it's in the client's nature because they are shopping.
Yes.
They're
The
shopping,
yes.
and they basically looking for the best deal somehow, which is you cannot be mad at the snake because it bit you. Right?
Yeah,
So
you're
that's
right.
a nature. It's
Yeah.
just nature. But yeah, there's a lot of layers on that point that you have. They're just looking. They're just looking. They're just
yeah.
window shopping. Kind
Yes,
of.
usually I don't work with those kind of clients. Once someone texted me and they asked me for pricing without even giving me any single brief
Right.
and nothing, I just ignore them. It's just for me. I don't want to deal with this because again, they're just shopping.
Yeah, they're just shopping.
Again, I want to work with clients that really likes me,
Right.
not because I'm cheap, right?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
So, is it my turn now?
Oh, yeah, okay. Let me just connect this to the next one.
Connect it.
I will connect this to the next one because there are-
suddenly something came
Oh,
into
okay.
my head. Like, okay.
Okay, there are clients that when they give you a brief, they undermine the project because they want to get the pricing somehow cheaper. For example, they will just say, "Oh, I just need 5 pictures." Oh, you just need 1 hour or 30 minutes, But then once you arrive to the project,
That's
guess what?
100%. Yeah, that's
guess what?
100% red
Yeah, when the
flag.
clients say 1 hour job, it's not a 1 hour job. You have to
Let me give
travel.
this to you. Okay, if you do this project, I will give you more.
Oh, yeah. The worst is if you give this for free, I will give you more. Oh my god!
I was
bro.
not born
Oh,
yesterday, sister. Oh my goodness. I've been in Dubai for so long that I've heard that for a long time.
Bro,
Don't
exposure.
even promise. Don't even
Yeah,
promise.
true,
Yeah.
true, yeah.
Don't promise.
Don't even promise, man.
If it's good, it's good. You're not the only one who has cards. I have cards also.
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God, man.
Really, you're going to give me that card? Come on, are you really desperate right now? But push comes to shove. It's just they're just shopping.
Yes,
right?
exactly, bro. And I mean, it's uncomfortable, man. Whenever I
Yeah,
get
It's a very awkward
Yeah,
situation.
and again, you have to learn to say no. That's the thing.
Learn how to say no.
Most
This is the best.
and being professional, most of the time you will say no.
You have to be professional.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say was,
Okay.
if someone called you out of nowhere, they don't know you.
How did they find you in the first place?
They just
Social
heard.
media?
They just social media.
Okay,
They
got
saw
it,
the website, and obviously, if you're pushing your SEOs and everything, for me, I find it a red flag. But I will say that why. If you answer it first somehow, is that a red flag for you?
If a client doesn't know me at all, but they found me on... Okay, here's my point of view. Because for me, I'm more of a public figure right now compared to 10 years ago that I'm just a photographer with a name on my website. I'm more of a public figure. So for me, I feel that I gained that trust immediately if they found me, especially on Instagram. That's the one of the advantage.
Beautiful.
That's one of the advantages of building your own brand. Like for example, like
Beautiful.
having a social media presence. Because the thing is, you build trust immediately. For example, if a potential client goes to my Instagram and they see I'm been collaborating with so many brands, I have this kind of followers and engagement, like it's already a green flag for me, right?
That's good.
Compared to someone with nothing on their page, So that's different. So I think I belong to the more to this public figure thing. So for me, it's not a red flag for me, So yeah. So for me, I here's the funny thing. What I noticed since I have my Instagram, I in fact almost never gotten a request from a client for my portfolio. It's very rare for me. Like a potential client ask me for my portfolio. It's very rare.
Beautiful.
In fact, my website right now is not even updated for so many years.
Beautiful.
Because my Instagram alone is like the trust is there. So that's one of the advantages of building my Instagram. So yeah, so for me, it's not.
It's a green flag.
It's. I mean, it's neutral. It's like it's not a red flag, but it's not a green flag yet until I get
until you
manage-
study the client more.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would go. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I really agree with you somehow. I'm learning. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's kind of like it's questionable out of nowhere. Someone called you. Like, where did you get my number?
Yes.
They don't know who.
Okay.
referred
Here's
you.
the thing. Sending a message from Instagram and from mobile number is different because I don't have a mobile number on my social media. You should never put your mobile number on social
never
media.
do.
So if someone called me like out of nowhere, I don't know the person.
This is the red flag
That's a red
part.
flag. That's a red flag.
Yeah,
part.
that's the red flag.
Like
part.
at least send a text message first.
You know
before calling.
why I was saying it's a red flag? Because it's kind of like I prefer working with people who knows me already somehow,
Got it.
who referred them, who I know the referral.
Yes.
What kind of referral is it coming from? Who is it coming from? Is it a client that I kind of like dislike in the past, or is it a client that I have a bad history from, or is it a client that was really happy? This guy referred me to you, and he, if they speak highly of me somehow, because I know for a fact that so I got the first foot on the door already.
Yes,
So it's kind of
exactly.
like you don't need to prove things.
So what would you prefer? You want the original person to pass them your contact to communicate with you first?
Yes. No. It's like a chicken and egg. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter as long as they mention.
Like for example, if someone called me, this guy gave you gave me your number. Oh, cool, great.
Yeah.
Then you know my job already. You know how I work already. Yes, of course. That's how the people I prefer working with.
Of
It's
course,
like,
of course.
yeah, but in your end where it came from
Yeah.
the
If it came
site.
from-
It came from the
If
Insta.
it came from Instagram, usually it's okay. Email, yes, I have my email on my social media, but mobile number, it's
It's a no-no.
Especially our mobile number is old. I already told you our mobile number starts with 050, bro. OG man, OG. If you're in Dubai and your mobile number starts with 050, man, guess what? You're old.
The bank is not chasing that number.
Okay, we didn't owe anyone.
Loans and credit cards are not chasing that number. Yeah.
Oh my God, man! Yes,
I love
exactly,
it. I
bro.
love it. I couldn't get rid of that number. I kind of like it sticked on me.
Yeah, man. I don't imagine myself giving up at 050, man. It's like I don't know. It's like a bragging rights, bro.
It has the novelty.
I feel like we can sell the number after 20 years, bro.
Novelty number.
Imagine, bro. It's like no, there's rich people buying plate numbers. You know, I think maybe in the near future, maybe if you have 050
I
number.
was even thinking about the the digital artwork kind of thing. It's like
NFT.
the NFTs. This is like an NFT thing.
Oh my God, this became a comedy show, bro.
Sheikh Muhammad called this number.
Exactly, bro. Okay. This connects to that that red flag. So, okay, client who doesn't respect your boundaries. For example, calling you late at night, like 12 o'clock or 1 a.m. Like that's a red flag for me. Like it's usually calling, not text, calling, bro.
It how would you say that? It something similar happened, not exactly like that. It's kind of like I know for a fact that the call time is 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I know for a fact it's 5 o'clock. And since Rasal Kaima, 5 o'clock. How many cockroach needed to turn the bulb? Like 5 people called me, and I started, ignoring the calls because they even called my wife and said like, this is the number that. So how many cockroach needed to turn the bulb? I was like, it's not because that you got my number, you have me.
Yeah.
You owe me.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
The reason why I got this job is because of my reputation. I'm professional.
Yeah. Unless
you
if the
don't
job
need-
is what you need is urgent, I don't mind. But again, if you will call me, or worse,
Or
if
the
you will
same thing.
inquire for a new project, you're a new client, and you will call me 12 o'clock in the morning,
There's
bro.
only one thing about that, brother.
What?
They couldn't get you out of your mind. They couldn't
Oh
get you
my
out
God,
of your
bro!
mind, man.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my
Here's
God.
another. Just last week, bro. So and then we're still in the respecting your boundaries. I had this potential client that kept asking me for a rate card. Okay. So here's my take about rate card. Here's the thing. Things you cannot, as I've said before, you cannot rate everything the same way.
Right.
Like there should be, as you said, different pricing to different kind of jobs. They keep asking me for my rate card, and I always ask them like, what job? No, they keep telling me, no, just give me a rate card. Bro, give me the job, man. Give me the job, and they cannot give me because I think they're a new company and they just want.
They couldn't give you the brief.
Yes, there's no brief. There's no client or whatsoever. But they kept asking me for my rate card, and I kept saying no because again I don't know what the job is. So I told them at the end, you know what? I don't want to work with clients that doesn't respect my boundaries. I would rather work with a client that highly respect me.
Bro, back in the days when I was in Unilab, I called up Mercury Drugs. I called up pharmacies and asked for how much is Alaxan, how much is... It's normal somehow. It's normal because they basically
Standard.
somehow... they want to know the standard rate.
Yes.
And they want to get the rate out from you so that they'll be able to compare prices and they'll be able, because in the end of the day, they're also working on the possibility of their markup. How much markup they would put.
True.
But, it really depends on the person from the other line, because the person from the other line, most likely a young person, inexperienced, wasn't able to, discern what is the right time to call. I just ignore it. I just ignore it. I said like, okay, maybe I can give you some other time. It's not the right time to call. If it's like this, because in the end of the day, how would you address something like this, right? To become a professional person,
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, again, respect, man. It's something that we work so hard for. Respect. We're not beginners. We're not intermediate. We are professionals. We have at least 2 decades under our belts.
Of course,
give
man.
our damn respect. And it starts from the beginning, bro. If there's no respect from the very beginning, Why continue?
Why?
Right?
Why?
Just say no. Just say no. You know.
Why?
Yeah. Right.
I totally agree, man.
Yeah.
I totally agree. But then again, don't if I would advise onto that, don't put that 2 decades in your head.
Yeah.
Come from a perspective where okay, so give the benefit of the doubt that this person really doesn't know me. This person must be, you know, a newbie, or this person might be ignorant about you.
Yeah.
You know. But there are some assholes.
I knew there was coming, bro. I could feel it. I was like, there's something coming, bro. There's something
But
coming.
there's still some assholes who know you for a long, long time. And
Bro, you hype it so hard, bro. Let it down. Way harder, man. Oh my god. Yes, there's a lot of assholes, bro.
Yes. Especially, I mean, I wouldn't say because it's Dubai. Because see, it's a melting pot of different nationalities, different personalities. That's the reason why we have this, how would you say that? When it comes to, you know, a radar, a douchebag meter, you already know, you know, oh, it's out of tune, something's wrong, you know, you smell it,
man.
you know, you hear it, like something's wrong. That's why, you know, it's really a guide for you guys, so that you'll be able to, it comes with experience, really.
True.
But this guide should be written on a tablet.
Like 10 commandments, bro.
10 commandments.
Okay, how about this, bro? If you get inquiry or text or whatever that starts with only hi. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
And they want you to answer. You know, they want to answer. Instead of giving just saying everything that they need.
Is that an old batchmate from Philippines that you were not really close? Suddenly they say hi.
Exactly right.
Can I borrow some money?
That's pretty common. I hate that, bro. Bro, especially if you're going to message someone online, social media with some who online presence, man, just tell me what you want, bro. First message, bro. Tell me what you want. If you say hi, hello,
again,
I will never.
Benefit of the doubt really helps a lot. You know, okay, maybe he needs something, whatever. You know, how can I do for you? That's it.
Yeah.
And if they couldn't, you know, I'm quite busy, blah 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 blah. You know, yes, you can't burn bridges somehow.
Yeah, exactly. But that's for me. I mean, I would rather just, for example, it's something that I believe with, like no response. It's also a response.
No response is a response.
It's a response, right?
Yeah.
Now that's different from sin zoning someone. That's different. If you look the message, you've seen it, like it marked on them that you've seen the message. That's completely different. I believe that
I have this friend. It's like, what is your handle on Instagram?
Yeah.
I'm driving. Driving. So what would you think?
Yeah.
Like, I'm driving. I can't answer right now.
Uh-huh.
So then he replied, the photographs are all driving. This is not yours.
Bro, how dumb you need to be to don't understand that, bro.
No, again, benefit of the doubt, because he explained himself. Sir, if you told me I'm sorry I'm driving, then I would understand. Okay, it's my bad. Guys.
Right.
I apologize.
But why did you even had the chance to text in the first place? If you're driving, just don't bother to reply, bro, right?
Yeah. That's why it's my fault.
It's your
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Oh yeah, exactly, bro.
Sorry, I'm driving.
Yeah, but I would rather not reply. I would rather not respond if I'm busy. You know. I mean, that's your fault, Chris. Bro, it's from you. Red flags. Come on.
Oh.
It's your turn. I'm giving you 2.
Oh dear. I thought I was 90 days.
Oh my god, bro. Bro, you just said 90 days, bro. I know what you mean. Bro, I know exactly what you mean, bro. And it hurts, man.
It hurts.
And sometimes, you know what? It's not even 90 days, bro. It's not even 90 days, man. Oh my god, bro.
I never do weddings, right? I never do weddings. The time that I got paid was the anniversary.
Bro, I'm so sorry for you. Wait, see, I don't do a lot of weddings. It's something that I don't do. But bro, I thought wedding should be cash payment
I know,
basis.
right?
Because it's like I don't know how to say. It's not like corporate company that they have processing.
It's 50% because obviously
It's
you have
50%, but
you have a team because there's a
right?
submission
Yeah.
happening, which is the album and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's basically after the submission.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's kind of like the album was ready for like so many years, so many months.
Yeah.
They traveled and everything, but
yeah. Oh,
you know, it really depends on the situation. But how do you feel when they are upfront to you when they say 90 days? Is that a red flag for you?
Okay, because I do mostly corporates. To be honest, it's kind of accepted. Like
It's
if
acceptable,
you
right?
want to work with corporates, you just gotta accept it.
You know what? You know what the red flag about it?
Yeah.
If they didn't say that it's 90 days.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. Especially if it's a new client, you know, they didn't mention.
If they didn't mention that it's 90 days.
Yeah, and also if you know that they will take a lot of time to pay you, at least put some.
Because
some,
see, you have your clause there, right?
Yeah.
50% upon confirmation and 50 when when.
But still, would you
know.
say no to like 50,000 dirhams?
No, of course not.
Yeah, of course not, right?
Of course
so,
not.
So
it's
yeah,
what I understand is kind of like the bigger they are, the slower they move.
True.
That's why you need to have
Exactly.
that understanding,
Exactly,
and you
bro.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's something that I learned throughout the years that if you think about it, working with big brands is not really a flex. If you think about it, like usually they pay very slow, and their standard is very high.
Yeah.
And for me, I kind of not stop, but I would prefer to work with a medium-sized company or even
Medium-sized,
small, as long as they can afford me.
Easier to
Yes,
work with,
and they can pay.
communication-wise.
They can pay immediately. I have clients that they can pay after 3 days, and it's the same budget with the big clients.
Correct.
You know? So I would rather focus myself on smaller and medium clients.
That's why when it comes to competition, in a sense that, okay, they are competing for pricing.
Yeah.
So they can't afford you. I said, there are some people who think like, oh, they're going to the competition and they get affected about it. I just say they're not my client. If it's like a big client, like, okay, you estimate, you give them the estimation of 50,000 and then suddenly the big players are quoting 300,000.
Exactly.
It's like, wow.
Yeah, that's the exact reason why I don't want to have a day rate or a rate card. Also, it depends on the project and also it depends on the client, right? You wouldn't charge Nike compared to a cafeteria, would you?
Correct.
You don't,
correct,
right?
correct,
So
correct.
yeah, I want to get everything before I give you a quotation. That's why I don't have pricing on my
It's
website. For me,
amazing.
it's a
Amazing.
no, right? You
Yeah,
know?
it's case-to-case basis.
Case-to-case basis. Unless if you're just, for example, if you do wedding all the time, it's okay to have a rate card, right? You know, but if you're doing different stuff, then that's for me. It's not. Rate card is kind of like not applicable in those kind of scenarios.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
right.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, and
yes,
then
of
so
course.
what did we just talk about? the payment thing.
Payment.
Payment things. Here's the thing. Once you see when you're going to freelancing, you should position yourself which clienteles you would accept, right? Or which what's it called this? Which type of clients you want to work with, or which kind of bracket. See, if you want to work with clients that pays immediately, might as well go to personal work like weddings, birthdays, or portrait sessions. You know,
Something
that's
personal,
something that is yes, it's kind of lower budget, but
it's
somewhere
immediate.
it's immediate payment. But if you decided to go for corporate, which I do, you do as well, you just have to accept it that it's part of the game.
Of course,
it's part of the game. Like it's not their fault. Also, the client that talked to you, it's not their fault because.
But do you notice that 90 days are not that common anymore? It's mostly 30 days, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but because back in the days, 90 days
was
wow.
90 days.
Yeah.
Now I think that's because of
now it's like 30 days.
I think that's because of wire transfer. Because back in the day it was check, bro. Remember?
Do you still have clients that you need to go to their office to
No,
collect
not
the check?
anymore. Not anymore.
I still have.
You still have? What kind of clients are those, bro?
That's the thing.
Oh my God, bro.
The thing about
Back
OGs,
in the day, bro.
the thing about OGs, they remain OGs.
Oh my God, bro.
The clients that I have, they either, if I lose a client, they either lost the job, transferred to another company, or they die.
Oh,
Literally,
my
they
God.
die, man. They die. And it's unfortunate, but it's kind of like, it's somehow like you're proud somehow in a way that you keep loyal clients.
Yeah, bro.
It's part of the brand. You keep loyal clients and they die on you. I mean, yeah, death is inevitable. Being unalive, unalive,
Yeah.
unalive. The terminologies nowadays. Being unalive is it's an inevitable situation.
Well, I would say I'm proud to say that I haven't experienced clients
Yeah.
dying on me, and I wish I don't experience
yes,
it. I
of
mean, we
course.
don't want any
Knock on wood.
knock on wood, but yeah, I remember those days, bro. Going to the client's office to submit a trade license or sign, I don't know, like whatever. Or even pass. Bro, remember back in the day, bro, we had to submit our work through CDs, bro. Remember that? There's no WeTransfer. There's no internet.
Through
man.
CDs.
Through CDs, bro. Through CDs.
Yeah, I can't
Oh my
remember
God.
anymore, but yeah, it's been. How have you experienced submitting those blue
Diskettes?
Diskettes,
the big one.
Yeah, the blue disc. But I think
I'm
that
not old,
one
bro.
is from, it's not a photography, but websites. Web designs. Yeah, web
I
designing.
never experienced it. But for me,
because it's
CDs.
such a big file to send by email or for file transfer. Okay, just give me the zip file. Like the literal zip file.
I think this is a good topic. I think we kind of talk about it. That it's a good topic to have. To have like to have a topic of comparing photography back in the day. compared to today. I think that's a good separate topic, man. Yeah, imagine back in the day. You know what? Chris will come back, right?
Yes, of course,
Chris will come back.
As long as you welcome me.
We will have a discussion about that.
Number of this.
Because there's so many things, man. It's completely different now. Like you said during our phone conversation, light meter alone, bro. Using light meter alone. Nobody uses light meter alone. Only the OGs.
I do light meters.
And again the diskettes, the CDs, So yeah, I think it's a good topic in the next episodes. Bro, is there any other red flag you want to share?
I can't think of anything else.
I think I have one more asking. I think I got the most. Yeah. Yeah, is there anything?
We'll send you an email once we remember anything. We'll put it in the comment.
Oh my God! How about is there? Okay, let's put it as extra. Is there any red flag to other?
How about client that doesn't feed the photographer?
Oh,
there's no.
I mean, it depends.
It depends, right?
It's common with weddings, with birthday parties, because
as a photographer, because just recently somehow, not that recent, a photographer deleted the images because they were refused to be fed.
Yeah,
which is it really depends. It's kind of like when you're going to a war.
Yeah.
Bring your bullets, man. Bring your especially me coming from production background.
Yeah.
You need to do your craft. You need to because you will provide it to your crew and you will provide it to your staff and the client. Something to share, because this is like an opportunity for you to to shine somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, cookies. Oh, wow, banana. Wow, juices.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I think it depends on the scenario, the work environment. I mean, corporate, you don't expect them to feed you. I mean, if they feed you, kudos to them. Yeah, that's good. But if you know that you're going to a place without food, might as well bring
yourself.
But wedding, I mean, if you're the groom and bride, would you can you accept that you're asking people to work with you without feeding them?
Maybe on their next wedding, brother, because they're inexperienced.
Especially if the people that works for you ask for food because they're very hungry. Like, how cruel are you to say no? Especially if there's already food in there.
Yeah. I know.
Like, might as well just get some.
It can be a red flag, right?
Yeah, it is. Like
It can be a red
in a
flag.
wedding environment.
You know how to avoid that?
Contract?
No. Contract, yes.
Yes.
But the funny way to avoid that is don't charge 500 dirhams for a day. Because
Oh my God.
the difference between charging 10,000 dirhams a day and charging
Oh, okay.
500 dirhams a day, it's so, because if you know your worth, they will definitely respect you.
Okay, I like that. Okay, here's the thing. Again, here's something that I've learned throughout the years, that the more expensive you are, the more respect the client.
Gives you.
Yes.
You're a diva.
Exactly. But if you're cheap, bro,
Yeah.
forget
about it.
That's why there are some cases that I would rather do the job for free than for cheap. For example, if I do the job for free, that I know that it could be good for portfolio, for connections, I would rather do it for free than for cheap. Because if you do it for free, bro, I'm telling you, disrespect.
Yeah. It's your red flag.
Yes. Exactly.
It's not the client red flag, it's your red flag.
Yeah, exactly. It's like again, as I said, if you say yes to a project, make sure you're happy with that. With that,
always give 101, 110, 120.
as long as you accept it, So if you don't like the budget, then just say no. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
It's an image crossing your path. Crossing your. It's going to your computer. At the end of the day, you should don't put trash images in your computer.
Exactly. Okay, there's something that I remember just a few minutes ago. You mentioned about competition. I think this relates to our fellow photographers, the industry. Like, I've heard this from my guest, and she said very good, man. The people that are competing against each other are at the bottom. But the people that are on the top are collaborating.
There's no competitors. Collaborative. Oh, wow.
Yes, you're right. So if you're just, it's common. Like mostly beginner photographers, creators, they usually the one who feels competition.
Amazing.
Right?
I think it might have come from the Blue Water book. It's kind of like if you're in the red water, they are eating each other because it's blood, But if you're in the blue water strategy, it's just by yourself, and you have like, hi neighbor, collaboration.
Exactly. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That's why right now, in your stage, you do a lot of collaborations. We do with the Filipino community. Which is good to you.
It's a kasambahay makeover, which I do. In a sense, because coming out from social entrepreneurship.
Yes.
I think of things that I can give to the community.
Exactly.
Because you need to, bring back something to the community.
And that's the telltale sign of being a professional. Being, it's not about competition anymore. It's about giving back to the community. I like that.
It's not just even competing, because when you say competing, you feel like everything against, the world against me. Everything against me, against the world, me against the world kind of thing. If you're questioning the world or the universe that you are not given an opportunity, make one. Create one. Bro. Right? Sure. The best thing to create things is to give back. Giving back, like, what we're doing right now. I hope you're inspired. I hope we're giving inspiration right now somehow. It's kind of like, like dignity. Give dignity. Hope. Give hope. How would you be able to do that? Use your craft.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not born yesterday not to think of an when you say malaki ka na. You're big enough to understand how would you be able to use photography to give hope, to give to bring back something to the community.
And here's for the younger generations out there, like when you're starting, yes, develop your skills, develop your clientele, but once you get to the top, give back to the community, and I really like that. It's something that we, like all professional photographers should do. Like
allow yourself to get bored. Allow yourself to get bored, and when you're bored, that's the time that you'll be able to do collaborations.
Actually, that's very right. One of my guests told me that most of his ideas came from the toilet. Whenever you're scrolling on TikTok. And hell what, bro? Isaac Newton. He was under the apple tree, you know? Apple fall on his head.
Yeah, gravity.
Guess what? Gravity, bro. That's true. That's true. You need also
Can
those.
you imagine that the person in the toilet with fall? Which
Ceiling.
Not in the ceiling.
Oh my god, that's crap, bro. we can say the exact word, but but yeah, bro. Yeah, that's true. Like that's why having down moments is even good as long as you take advantage of it.
Yeah, take the most out
Like
of
summertime,
it.
for example, or Ramadan. Like this Ramadan, I try to do more episodes because again, I don't want to just bum at home. I want to be proactive, you know. So and also same ideas
That's
with
the
this
word,
podcast
proactive,
came
yeah.
from last year when remember the flood, you know, remember that flood. And then the industry was suffered a little bit, and that's basically how I managed to came up with this podcast, right? So I mean, those kind of down moments is kind of important as well, as long as you know how to utilize that, you know.
Yes, monetize on something that is, you know, not for everybody, you know. Like during the pandemic, what did you do during the pandemic?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. I mean, that's a completely separate topic, but pandemic. But you know it's funny because I've in this podcast, man, almost every guest mentioned pandemic because it's such a big life event for us.
Yeah.
It's like World War I or World War II. Like it's like it became a turning point of most people's lives. So yeah, man. So it's good that you mentioned. But yeah, I mean,
Amazing,
but
man.
guess what? We're still here.
We're still
We're still here.
We're still
Man, there's so many struggles, so many.
Yeah, somebody has to stay.
Okay, Chris Calumberan, is there anything else? Are we good?
Amazing,
Are we
brother.
good?
Thank you very
Oh
much
my
for
God,
the
bro.
opportunity.
Thank
We
you
can
so
wrap it up,
much.
man.
Let me do my outro. Woo! My God. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you learned a lot, especially for those beginner photographers, videographers. Actually, this applies to everyone. It doesn't have to be photographer or creative. Everything we said today applied to everyone.
Life lesson.
So I hope we inspired a lot of you guys, especially beginner photographers or anyone. And Chris Calumberan, bro, I wish you all the best. More power to you. And maybe I don't know. Maybe we can drive a bike in the near future. Because I told you, I'm inspired from you to get a bike, but I'm still afraid. I still need to get a lot of courage to get a bike. So man, again, thank you so much, and more power to us. And we will come back for the next episode, right?
You know, yes, of course. You know what they say: never ask permission, but always say apologies.
Exactly. Guys, thank you so much, Chris Calumberan. Woohoo!